I trust you know what I've called you here to discuss.
Don't worry, I have a way with stupid beasts. Hey, dweeb, what's up? You look like somebody died. I'm Johnny. Wanna see me do this? Let's ride, little guy.
So, I'm going to be going over the weapons based off of their, differences to world. Most of the movesets haven't really changed since then. I mean, Monster Hunter games are known for rather not changing a whole lot about their base moveset for each game. Not that that's really a problem. The biggest changes, I would say, are the wound system, the guard system, and a couple of new moves for each weapon, really. Some have more than others. Starting with the Sword and Shield, I mean, there's a ton of new moves that they added, moves that they changed the way, the sidestepping for just basic attacks, this new move, Charged Chop, which can be done after a couple of different moves, including the Roundhouse. As per usual with Sword and Shield, there's a lot of different combos, different strings that you can do depending upon what the monster is doing. It's like one primary weakness being its lack of height options, but I mean, if you're playing Sword and Shield, you kind of understand that. The Charged Chop is pretty good at trying to inflict wounds on a specific part, because even if you just hit the first part, all of it will happen. There's a new move added in this part. It's pretty much the same as before, other than that. You do the backstep after some combo, and you do the mount or the slam version. And then the new one is the plunging thrust. Good for applying statuses. Does extra damage the taller the monster is. Not always the best option, but still good. The shield slam combo, pretty basic one. The perfect rush is back. Love the perfect rush. New thing at the end, you get to jump, which sets you up for any of the other moves. The Charged Chop is good for, obviously, shorter situations. You get the slidings thing. I can't remember if that's new or not, but it has been a couple years since I played World. Really like the new setup here we have. As for the wound thing, you have this nice stab. And there's something unique about the Sword and Shield that I've noticed, is that while you're swinging, if you can see the monster's wound is almost ready. Oh, not my... Well, here's the focus attack. You can do one, which is a downward slash. That's obviously you can stun with the shield. Yep, there we go. So you can rip open wounds with a unique attack for the Sword and Shield, so you can see. And then you can immediately go into a second focus strike. If I can hit it. There we go. And you can do the shield slam, which sets you up for another plunge of some kind. Pretty nice combos all around with the Sword and Shield. One of the most, I would say one of the hardest that people would take to learn. Especially being it doesn't have any special powers necessarily, it's just you gotta deal with sharpness, just like every other weapon. The perfect rush is a timing attack. Obviously the backstep and the charge strike are charge attacks. You could do bludgeoning and slashing, you know. A lot of flexibility here. I like the moveset. Let's see. Which one did I not do? I think it was... that. Lateral slash. Can't remember what the button is. There it is. Oh yeah, you have to stand still. That's right. You stand still and press B, and you get a heavier slash. Otherwise, if you hold forward, you get the shield bash. And that also sets you up for another combo. Switching weapons here to my lance. Now, I main lance pretty much, and I had for a long time, so I know. But it's that being said, it's not a very complicated weapon. The new guard system is very important to the lance, but it depends how you want to use it necessarily. How you end up being able to mix up stuff. There's a couple of different thrusts when you block now. If I can time it properly. There we go. You get an automatic shield slam. You get a couple of different moves. That was a focus strike. I don't know why I did that. I'm too far away. There we go. So you get the guard dash. There's a couple of different things that you can do with the guard dash, same as World. The shield slam and the maybe the other one. There we go. The sort of dash attack. You get the normal guard thrust, and then of course the good old charge counter. Pretty good with the new guarding system. You can, in fact, perfect guard with it as well. You can do the dash attack, of course. Love this thing. There's no difference between the Y or the B version. You can also immediately jump out of it, which is pretty nice. Just create free mounting opportunities. It doesn't do a ton of mounting damage from what I recall. So it's more like just something to use every once in a while as the lance. If you feel like that you can't get the full charge off. Of course there's the reverse attacks. Which is just kind of the like horizontal slash that you can do with the lance. There's some new combos with the basic thing. You just do 3 and then that would be your normal combo, but you have a triple version now. You automatically do the B instead of having to do it manually now. There's the focus strike. Honestly, don't like it very much, but you know, if you're a lance only, you can do it. I much prefer to do this over and over again. It really only works against large monsters, though. Doshagama is like the first one that you can do it against reliably, and even then you have to make sure you're not aiming at his head, because otherwise you'll slip past it. As for this, like, it's cool and all, but like it often misses, like with the final thrust especially. Again, Lance just kind of better against larger monsters. Kind of really bad against smaller ones. Which is why I end up using Sword and Shield quite a lot. Like advancing thrust and stuff, pretty good all around. I like that you can pretty much aim it any direction. Let's go move on to Greatsword. There's some new moves here. I think something else you'll notice. You have armor, on the heavier weapons, that is. It prevents you from taking damage. I don't recall if it's affected by the flinch-free jewel, but I don't have flinch-free here, and it's just the normal Greatsword. There is some armor with it, which is pretty nice for hitting attacks. Typical Greatsword stuff here. You know, you have some different combos. There's the new uppercut version, and I don't do it with the Greatsword, but I'm going to show you something later. Uppercut attacks have a specific thing that they can do now, which is very hard to hit and is really dependent upon the monster's moves. But, you know, typical Greatsword things for now. The charged attacks. Back to Hammer. Back now to Hammer. Hammer doesn't really get the same armor that Greatsword does, unless you're using a couple of specific moves to help those land. Obviously, you still take damage. Typical Hammer stuff: charge, focus strike. You have the normal like light combos, the Big Bang combo. The spinning one is a nice. You don't even have to worry about like pressing B anymore. You get this spinny thing instead, which is a nice setup move for when you're trying to hit a downed monster or something. I don't remember if it does damage, but it probably doesn't do a whole ton. Probably like Lance Charge, but even Lance Charge is pretty good. There we go. Pretty fluid all around Hammer. There we go, the spin. Like the spin as a finish, like a finisher or a follow-up on the other attacks. It doesn't really get armor though, so try to use it sparingly. You got this new dash thing when you're charging. Pretty nice. Focus strike again. Really like that focus strike. Super good against hitting the monster's head. Of course, each charge has a different setup now, and it doesn't matter whether you're moving or not, like it did in World. So, I like that change. On a Longsword here. This one. Longsword really hasn't changed a ton. There's a couple of new moves overall, and some new. I wouldn't call the new like third light a new move necessarily. It was just kind of one of the previous moves, but it's less fancy now. You have the typical moves that allow you to like move around and avoid attacks. There's still a thrust and the uppercut. Obviously, those used to be the light move, but now there's some special thing that you can do. Longsword is still pretty like fluid all around, and you still got the charge meter, obviously. This Longsword does in fact have a little bit of armor now, so you know you can resist weak attacks. This is the elite setting. You do even have the some new draw moves, some new moves based off of like the total charge. That's a new move, the focus strike. I think it's based off of like charge. You get the draw moves, which I don't know if that can avoid attacks. I don't really use Longsword that much in this game. I mean, overall, it looks pretty fancy. I've seen some people use it in hunts. It looks pretty good. Let's see if I can do this parry thing. There we go. Yeah, you can still do the focus slash parry. Pretty good thing to do, honestly. Foresight Swirl Slash, I think, does the same thing as the parry does. It's just, you know, different way of using it, different positioning. Hitbox is kind of funky on this thing, or maybe it's the sword, I don't know. I can't recall if this... I remember the slash did extra damage, or dodge. Onto the hunting horn. I really like the new changes to hunting horn. I already liked hunting horn in World. It's still pretty similar. A lot of all of the basic moves are the same. Really, the big difference you got is the new instruments you got. You got a little bit of armor. Can't recall if Encore was the same. I don't remember exactly because it's been a couple of years since I played World. This one in particular has some nice boosts to it: health recovery, recovery speed, thunder res. Pretty good for the Raidao fight. I like this horn all around, really. Focus Strike. Pretty fun one, that. I don't think it does really good, but you know, I think it might do more damage if I have like music set up. You know, if I had... Nah, it doesn't do that, that's right. Nah, honestly, I like the Focus Strike, it's pretty funny looking, but honestly not even worth, really, I'd say. Better off just trying to hit the monster. Let's see. Yeah, you can perform out of the air. Remember what button it is, and it doesn't show it here. Just try to set up a couple different music. I don't remember what the offset melody does, or how that fixes, or how that does anything. But I mean, you know, you can be pretty effective all around with the hunting horn. What was that button? It was, no. There we go, A. There it is. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Echo Bubble. So this thing, oh my god, it's amazing. I think you can have like three of them down, if I recall. Otherwise, like, they start going away. Or at least the last one, you know, the place does. Yeah, there we go. When you swing, they make reverberations based off of their distance to you, I believe. Yeah, there you go. To the left one's closer to me. Yeah. Whenever you play music, whenever you swing, they make reverberations. It seems to be just based off of a duration, as far as I can tell. So, you know, pretty honestly great. They do extra damage when you're just hunting a monster in an area. So, let's see, I'm gonna place a couple down around here. There you go. One down, and you can see when I'm hitting them. This thing does extra damage. It's not a ton of extra damage, but it is still there. These little, like, puddle things, they apply buffs as well, depending upon your hunting horn. There's one that I use occasionally, which applies like a health regeneration. It's really strong. And as you can see, it seems to do more damage based off of the music being played. We're on a dual blades. Not really a ton changed. There's only like 2 or 3 new moves here, and they're just extensions off of the other moves. Other than the fact that now you sort of move around when you're attacking, which makes the dual blades like way better all around. Like not being static is oh my gosh, it's so amazing. The other thing is that if you perfect time a dodge, you get this sort of blue effect, which means that when you dodge, you do damage on the way. Pretty nice effect, honestly. I don't know if it affects anything other than that. It might affect crit chance, affinity that is. It might affect damage, I don't know. But what I do know that it does is that it... oh yeah, the spin. The spin. So the focus strike is the spin. As you can see, there's still like the demon gauge and all that. I really like the damage you can deal when the monster's standing still. There's a couple of different flurries that you can do now. I don't know if there's a very big difference between the Blade Dance version and the Demon Dance version, because it really doesn't seem like it matters all that much, it's just there. And obviously the spin move, oh my gosh, it's really good on long monsters, as it always has been. Now we're on to Switch Axe. Now, I cannot say that I ever played much with Switch Axe in World. It was not one of my favorites. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Offset. So, that's something unique to a couple of different weapons that do uppercut attacks, and it happens during a monster's moves. Sorry, I'm not talking about the Switch Axe for a second, but it's a new special thing that you can do with a couple of different weapons. I know Greatsword is one of them, and I know Hammer is one of them, because they both have uppercut attacks. I wasn't aware that this one could, but apparently it can. And of course I died there, because I didn't pay attention to my health, not that it matters. Honestly, like, Switch Axe, really almost identical in most ways. There's the focus attack, you know, but like outside of that, almost all of the combos for this thing are the same. There's this new one, pretty nice one, honestly. Like it's pretty cool. If you still have time to do more damage. A lot of the moves on here are reminiscent of Longsword, sort of like animations. So, like, you know, if you're looking to do that, keep that in mind. The Greatsword version, you know, it's all its own thing. I don't recall if you can grab onto things with this. Doesn't really seem like it. I haven't seen anything happen like that yet. But, you know, it's a Switch Axe. It's a pretty good DPS weapon. Not sure how it does with the new thing. I like playing around with the guard more than anything else. So obviously, I mean, I'm a Lance main, so I mostly play Lance, obviously. Okay, Gunlance. Ah, man, I hated this thing in World. I don't like it in this game either. Albeit it does have better moves considering the guard, but I mean, like, that's not saying much. Because I can't enjoy this. There's of course, you know, the reload system on the Gunlance, the Wyvern Fire. I mean, does pretty good damage, I guess. I think there's a little bit of armor on this stuff, but, you know, you have a shield, you might as well use that. I might even, you know, I might like this weapon more if it didn't have a shield, I'll be entirely honest. It'd be kind of fun to use it just like a spear or something. Let's see, I know there was some high damage combos you could do with Lance and Whirl. And I think there's probably some here that I don't know a ton about. That being said, you know, it's not a terrible weapon, just a focus strike. You know, flashy, looks nice. Yeah, here's that's the good combo if I recall. That's definitely changed from World. All of that has. It's almost like half of it is changed. You know, like the basic thing is still there. It's almost the same basically. But, like, there's that second half where it becomes different. I don't know. I just don't think there's a ton going on here. And considering how like stationary this sort of weapon is, you know, I don't really know a ton about it. Don't really play it a lot. So, but I mean, you know, whatever. If that's what you're into, sure, use it. At least the reload's faster. Find any other combos here. It doesn't really seem like I... No. Just waste a bunch of bullets here. Pretty cool that they tinkle around on the ground for a little while. Okay, now this weapon I at least know a little bit about. I used to play it some in World, and it's not really all that different, but it does have some new guarding things. You know, there's some transitioning. You know, albeit these are perfect guards. Some things don't trigger unless you do a perfect guard for some weapons, but I do know that if you you do have access to normal guard abilities if you perfect guard. So if, you know, you get all your options if you perfect guard. The focus strike looks really cool. Other than that, I think it's mostly just normal charge blade. I mean, charge blade is already complicated, so I wouldn't say that they really needed to add very much because it was kind of enough as it was. I think the only new thing really is the guarding changes. You still need to empower the shield. You still need to empower the files. There's a more obvious reticle for the files. There's no longer like yellow and red versions. It's you'll see in a second when I get around to it. There's the normal elemental discharge thing. There. So there's like a more obvious version of the charged files, and then you gotta empower the shield. Just if I can remember how to recharge the sword. No, that's not it. That's the shield again. That's the quick That's how you do it. And that gives you a little bit of a damage boost on the sword, and then obviously you power up the shield, it powers up the axe a little bit. I mean, you know, it's charged blade. Alright, so I don't really know a ton about the ranged weapons. I never really use them that much. Maybe just for fun every once in a while. Now, other than that, there is the new guard for the heavy bowgun that I know about. You can, in fact, perfect guard it. This includes just aiming down the sights at the right time, if I recall. You know, they have a focus strike. Other than that, like, the moveset is largely dependent on like what ammo you're using. So, you know, just it's largely dependent upon every single weapon. And I'm not really going to go through most of the options here. So, you know, just you just have to experiment on with yourself. Mode switching thing, which I think decides what your weapon is doing as like a power, but you know, I'm not really keen on using these things, so I don't really understand it very well. There seems to be, you know, like there's some way you can switch the weapon power here, but I don't know what this does or how to use it. Obviously, I don't have a Wyvern Snipe one here, and I don't know if there's a different mode for that too, but the Wyvern Snipe mode, in my opinion, is better than the Wyvern Heart, so, you know, be that as it may, you know, use whatever you like. Switching over to a light bowgun here. This one's pretty fun. I would use it occasionally. Pretty active, honestly. You get a lot of mobility here. You don't get any guard. Again, a lot of the playstyle varies depending upon which gun you actually have because of the ammo types. So, they have a focus strike too, but I don't know quite how to use it. They have their usual Wyvern Blast, their like sticky grenade. They might have another ability that I don't know about. That's like the basic one that they have. Almost the same as World in its entirety. Like, they have this thing, which I don't know what it does. It's maybe some kind of special ability that I don't understand. Yeah, I'm sure it's something. Now here we have bow. Now bow has a decent number of changes. Their basic combo is almost entirely the same. You know, charge, shoot, spam the charge, shoot if that's what you're built for, you know, whatever. Their quick stuff is different. You have this new focus ability, which is, from what I hear, very, very powerful. It mostly capitalizes off of multiple focus shots, which I'll show in a second once I break this. We got the new quick shot here. It doesn't have the rain of arrow things, or the rain, like the ball rain here. You get the dragon piercer, good old dragon piercer. Okay, there we go. So, as you can see, you can tick two or more of them, and then you fire it through, and it deals damage based off the number of wounds that you've inflicted. Pretty good ability all around. I think multiple bow users can inflict it at the same time, and then all hit for the same wounds, if I recall. You got this new coding system that's based off of recharge rather than just like actual bullets. I don't know what their decision there was, but you know, whatever, it works. If I switch over to Insect Glaive. Now, Insect Glaive, I have like a mixed relationship with. On one hand, it's pretty cool. Like, it looks really good. And on the other hand, like, I don't understand half of it, and I don't like the other half of it. Like, if I could use this thing efficiently without worrying about the insect or these, like, things here, I would use this more often. Because, I don't know, it's kind of like Longsword in the way that it looks with its moves. It's just not as, like, annoying to deal with, I guess. Plus, like polearms are pretty cool. And a lot of the ground combos really cool here. Like the other thing is that like pretty good at inflicting wounds overall. Despite being a polearm, it's pretty focused on its damage. I cannot stand this vaulting stuff. And I know you can play Insect Glaive without the vaulting stuff, but like I can't. Like you're meant to use it, and it's meant to be a part of the combos that you're using, but it's just not my thing, I guess. You can use it to avoid attacks, I know that. And some of the, you know, the moves themselves aren't necessarily the worst. The focus strike on this gives you all of the charges that you need, which is pretty nice. You can still mark a target. Sort of, you know, it benefits a lot from the focus mode. Go do this. And then get around to the other side of the enemy and wail on that side. Like, I mean, it's very movement based, and I like that about it. I really wish I could remove the insect part of the Insect Glaive, and I would enjoy it way more. Yeah, then it would just be Glaive, I guess. Oh well. I'll show you here. Perfect block. This is a stronger hit here, which you can completely negate the damage of. Pretty nice. You see, I mistimed it, and I got hit. I'll switch it to strong. Now you can't guard these. You can't even perfect guard them here. As you can see, can't perfect guard them. But the reason this lance has guard up, which allows you to block unblockable attacks, as it says. Now, even if you perfect parry this, you still take damage, but you normally wouldn't be able to block this. And most of the time, when you're blocking a blockable attack, perfect parrying will prevent you from taking the damage. So, you know, guard up is pretty important for guard weapons.
Finally, I must smother my foe as a Kaiser roll smothers a quarter pound of juicy hot pastrami.